All right, so right now I want to introduce my panel of guests here in studio, and I'll start from my extreme right. Sylvanus Sosoro, Honorable Member of Parliament for South Mugirango. Thank you very much for joining us.
Asante.
All right, we also have Joe Mutambo, who's the former Mwingi Central Member of Parliament. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And also from our analysis studio, we have Charles Kikulei, who is a political analyst, is going to also to be joining us from that side of the studio. So, gentlemen, I just want to get your very brief assessment of this political times that we are in right now. I'll start with you, Honorable Joe Mutambo.
Actually, Kenyans have been subjected to very hard times. And this emanated from the ruling that elections were to be repeated. And one thing we need to put or to understand is that this is a must, because it's a constitutional issue, it's a court order, and there is no one can run away from it. The election did not come from NASA side, neither did it come from Jubilee side. It's an obligation which each and every law-abiding Kenyans must abide to.
All right.
This is the problem. But because we do not, as Kenyans, we do not follow our constitution, we do not follow laws in our country, that is where we are where we are today.
All right.
And that's why you see Kenya is, I would say, Moi was right when he said, siasa mbaya, maisha mbaya.
Maisha mbaya.
Yes.
All right, Honorable Osoro, do you think that this is more of a political crisis or a constitutional crisis? Because he says we do not follow the laws.
No, it's both. It's both. Actually, it's not even actually both. It's a political crisis. And because the law is clear on what is supposed to be done upon the withdrawal of one candidate and those kind of things, what happens in a rerun. And I'm on record saying here that we drive our laws through various sources. The Constitution, the Act of Parliament, the common law, subsidiary legislation. Now, where there is a lacuna in one, we check whether we can actually find that fault in the other. And like, for instance, upon nullification of the election on September 1st, the Supreme Court ordered for fresh election. IEBC went and prepared for fresh election based on the jurisprudence or the what you call a precedent that was set by the learned judges in the case number 5 of 2013. Paragraph 290 and 292. They prepared that and had only the petitioner and the third respondent, go for an election. They even gazetted them. One decided to withdraw earlier. So based on that particular law, when now you go back to paragraph 291, if one candidate in a rerun decides to withdraw, then we'll hold elections, fresh elections within 90 days.
Right.
That means nominations and stuff. So the law is okay. This is a political crisis.
It's a political crisis.
Yes.
All right, so we'll get deeper into the intricacies of everything that's happening. Charles Kikulei, what is your take on everything that's happening right now? We find ourselves, at a crossroad as a country.
What we have is a political crisis. It is not a legal or a constitutional crisis because the law has spelled out very clearly what needs to be done in the event that we have a repeat election. And the courts have pronounced themselves from the ruling of the Supreme Court and even the High Court ruling that gave direction as to where we are supposed to be. The problem that we have in our country right now is one of the lack of political hygiene and lack of goodwill from a section of our political leadership who want to have laws applied to them when they are good and cherry pick. Essentially cherry picking. When it's good, yes, it's good. When they feel that it is not good for them, then they really want to apply extrajudicial methods of seeking their own agenda, pursuing the agenda. So what we have right now is purely a political crisis, and we find ourselves in a hole as a country. And what we need to do is to stop digging and get out of it, and the only guide to how to get out of this hole is the same constitution that we gave unto ourselves.
All right.